Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nosraya. I will present about introduction. The definition of an accident provided by Henry in the 1930 is usually cited. Henry defined an accident as random and uncontrolled event during which the action or reaction of an object, substance, person, or radiation ends up in personal injury or the probability. Bird and German, for example, define an accident as an intended or unplanned happening. The quality definition of occupational accident contains the subsequent element for threat, sudden, or unexpected external event during working hours on the way to and back from the workplace, arising out of labor performed within the course and therefore the scope of employment, but the harm and cost link between the event and also the harm.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Ali Mursyiidi bin ANUAR from BEEI section 1/2. Today I'm going to talk about synopsis of the accident. Recently we were once again shocked by the event of an accident that took place at Sungai Besi Ulu Kelang Elevated Expressway SUKE. This horrific accident happened because some people, responsible parties, did not take into account or care about safety while in the construction area. Here is a string of the accident that happened in that area. Based on the fact, this is not the first case of an accident that happened on this SUKE highway. Previously, an accident was reported to have occurred on 3 March 2021 on Wednesday. The incident occurred at the Sungai Besi Ulu Kelang Elevated Highway construction project on the Middle Ring Road 2 MRR2 near Bandar Tasik Selatan around 5:58 p.m. The accident began where an overload trailer may have crashed into an iron grinder that had caused the bridge under construction to collapse and hit a factory van. Based on the information received, a total of 5 victims were trapped in the van during the incident. The Fire and Rescue Department sent 23 firefighters, 3 fire engine and 2 rescue vehicles to the scene to remove the trapped victim. The second is on 11 March. Malaysia was shocked by the fall of component from a gantry crane at the Sungai Besi Ulu Kelang Elevated Expressway construction site in Kuala Lumpur. The incident has claimed the life of 3 people at the scene, and 1 car driver was seriously injured and was sent to the hospital, while another 2 workers were successfully rescued by firefighters. Firefighters have had a difficulty removing the victim body at the scene. This is because of the condition of the heavy crane component and their stability, which caused this removal and rescue operation to take a long time. The driver who was injured at the scene was rushed to the HUKM for further treatment. Meanwhile, 3 victims were also sent for autopsy. In this accident, the authorities have sent the SUKE Emergency Response Team and the Malaysian Fire and Rescue Department to assist in maintaining traffic and closing the road of facilitate rescue operation. For the number 3 is on March 22, 2021, an accident occurred where a construction crane had fallen on a highway construction site at Puncak Banyan Perserian Alam Damai. The accident has claimed the life of 3 Chinese construction workers and another local was reportedly injured at the scene. The incident happened at 8 p.m. The incident when the construction crane had fallen on the car of a local. The driver was seriously injured while the 2 workers had fallen as high as 36 meters from a construction site and died at the scene. And the lastly is on May 2021, another accident involving a crane structure that fell on a construction site. This time at the construction site at the Sungai Besi Ulu Kelang Elevated Highway near Puncak Banyan Perserian Alam Damai Ceras. Rescue operations are still being carried out by the Malaysian Fire and the Rescue Department. The contractor are also together in assisting this rescue operation by assisting in stabilizing the building structure. The operation to stabilize the structure took 7 to 9 hours. The incident has claimed 3 lives and the victim is believed to have perished at the scene. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad FIKRI. Today I will present about my part, summary cases and focus of investigation. So for summary cases, in February, a loader machine was travelling along Malaysia Runway Highway Tengah 2 MMR2 on its way to Ulu Kelang when it collided with a steel frame supporting the crosshead platform. Several structural steel frames collapsed during the impact and collided with a van carrying 5 local on their way to Sungai Besi. 2 passengers were killed on the spot. The Malaysian Construction Industry Development Board (CIDB) has confirmed that construction project safety will not be compromised. If accused of breach of duty, a contractor faces a fine up to 500,000 ringgit or incarceration for up to 2 years or both. So for focus of investigation, the Occupational Safety and Health Department (DOSH) has launched an inquiry into the March 22 accident at the Sungai Besi, Ulu Kelang Elevated Expressway, Suka, a construction site involving a gantry crane portion collapse. Those expect the true investigation to be concluded within a month. The inquiry will require an examination of the crash scene, the gathering of witness testimony, and a forensic engineering investigation to ascertain the cause of the accident. Once the true investigation is complete, the appropriate disciplinary step can be taken. Section 15 and 17 of the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1994 stated that it is the responsibility of the employer to ensure the safety, health, and well-being of all their employees when at work as well as public at workplace under their supervision. If proven guilty, the maximum punishment in all sections is a 50,000 fine or 2 years in jail or both. DOSH also mentioned that the stop work order at the accident site will be lifted only after the project owner takes comprehensive corrective and prevention action to avoid similar accident. DOSH performed 14,000 safe workers and welfare audit in the building industry in 2020. Following the inspection, 5,000 warning and 404 compound were released, and 73 cases were taken to court, with a punishment in excess 1.7 million applied. DOSH takes all the industry injuries seriously, whether they include staff or the general public. Employer emphasized a complete oversight in all activity-related risks at workplace and must analyze and implement appropriate risk reduction measures prior to the start of the work. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For observation and finding, the results and discussion will focusing on the hazard occurrence during tower crane operation, which is crucial and requires immediate action. Okay, for hazard occurrence figure, working at height, signalman error, improper method of rigging and incompetent signalman are 5 of the 12 danger that is shown in figure 1, which contribute to the danger and necessitate urgent and efficient intervention. As a result, there would be a language difference between the signalman and the tower crane operator when providing instructions during tower crane service. Since no competency is required to become a signalman, random staff would be chosen with no preparation or competency to become a signalman. According to figure 1, signalman mistake leads to 2 instances of tower crane death. Continuous preparation for signalman is required, as is the implementation of a merit point scheme to refresh their competency. Okay, for risk rating, they were all caused by signalman mistake, operator error, nature, operating at heights, structural failure, incorrect lifting system, and fault lifting tools, while the majority of the hazard necessitate a prepared approach to monitor the danger. Only one of them, inadequate clearance, was listed as low risk in the classification. This is the most dangerous threat because no one wants to inspect the hoisting equipment. Even the safety staff is incompetent in hoisting inspection, and employees use the wrong hoisting tools for the wrong job, causing damage to the hoisting tools. The other problem is that after a PMA inspection, DOSH has no idea what happens to the tower crane during the inspection, and if an accident occurs, the word safe during inspection will be used. A logistic supervisor should be appointed to check all hoisting equipment to ensure they are safe to use according to recommendation for action for this threat. Following that, during tower crane servicing, restoration and jacking up operation, the organization must send a report to DOSH detailing all maintenance activities performed on the tower crane. Signalment error, structural malfunction, incorrect lifting system, and defecting lifting tools receive the highest risk classification. The risk of structural collapse is exacerbated by the assigned technician, who is a person hired by the crane maintenance firm who lacks proper competency. Since there is no clear criterion for secure rigging system in any DOSH manual, the danger of unsafe rigging or hoisting leads to the highest ranking. Finally, instead of every 15 months, DOSH can perform a more routine annual inspection of the tower crane. Okay, this is the reported frequency of accident. Based on figure 3 shows only 2 types of accident have been reported during operation. There's 33% claim that the incident was triggered by a lack of load during the service, while the other 67% accepted that the failure of the crane contribute to the incident of the crane tower crash. Okay, when a crane is overwhelmed, the crane frame fails to support the load and the crane collapses. The statistics shows that the most accident occur where a crane or part of a tower crane collapse. Overload is normally caused by hoisting building materials, and the crash occurs during the hoisting process and demolition of the tower crane. This unit informs the tower crane operator of the complete weight of the load that can hoist, preventing overload. A cut-off limit is a mandatory device to add for the tower crane to avoid overload.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad ASHRAF bin ROSDIH with metric number B081810118. So today I'm going to explain about purpose of high arc. So the purpose of high arc are as follows: to identify all the factors that may cause harm to employees and others, which means the hazard; to consider what the chances are of the harm actually befalling anyone in the circumstances of a particular case, and possible severity that could come from it, which means the risk; to enable employee to plan, introduce and monitor preventive measures to ensure that the risks are adequately controlled at all times. So the next one is planning of high arc activities. High arc activities shall be planned and conducted for a situation where hazard appears to pose significant threat, uncertain whether existing controls are adequate, and before implementing corrective or preventive measures, and by organization intending to continuously improve OSH management system. It should be the duty of the employee to assign a trained personnel to lead a team of employees associated with one particular process or activity to conduct high arc. So the next one is process of high arc. Process of high arc requires 4 simple steps. The first one is classify works activities, identify hazard, conduct risk assessment, analyze and estimate risks from each hazard by calculating or estimating likelihood of occurrence and severity of hazard. And the last one is decide if risk is tolerable and apply control measures if necessary. So this is the flowchart of HIAC process. Start with classifying work activities, consultation, identify hazard, risk assessment, prepare risk control action plan if necessary, and the last one is implement.
Assalamualaikum to Encik Syarul. My name is Muhammad bin RAMLEE. My matric number is B0818100058. Today I would like to present about the lesson learned on the tragedy of Sungai Besi Ulu Klang Elevated Expressway. So, in view of the recent tragedy on the Sungai Besi Ulu Klang Elevated Expressway, the government, construction companies and employers of transport vehicle drivers should have responsibility for preventing any incident at building sites along roads SUKE. The bridge collapse tragedy, which leading to the death of 2 road users and the serious injuries of 3 others, was not a straightforward case because it included both road and construction safety. The parties involved should take responsibility and learn from the experience, putting in place proactive safety measures to prevent such occurrence from occurring in the future. The recent tragedy has prompted requests for extra safety buffers to be built around building sites and associated buildings. Companies would have to be willing to spend more on safety precautions in order to construct the buffers, such as having a dummy structure as a protection to the major structure, which reduce the impact even if it is struck, minimizing damage and preventing fatals. Employees of truck drivers must guarantee that their employees are properly instructed and equipped with safety information, as well as that the organization implements the effective SOP, standard of procedure. Good management have suitable systems in place, such as determining the sort of vehicle to be used and the routes to be travelled. Construction employees must also acquire proper training in order to recognize risks and to ensure that they can identify dangers as well as analyze and control risks. Workers must be instructed in order to undertake continuous safety monitoring and detect possible dangers in order to avoid any unfortunate accidents. Manufacturers and contractors must also be ready to employ technology to enhance OSH compliance. Safety managers may use their laptop or smartphone to view employees and machinery, as well as analyze the situation with wireless technology integrated with the newer software and device like drones and remote sensing device. To support the country handle the new challenge faced by the Industrial Revolution IR 4.0, strict enforcement and policies must be established through the strengthening of current regulations, including modifying the Occupational Safety and Health Act OSHA 1994. If all those concerned follow the proper work system and protocol based on agreed laws and regulations, as well as the certifications and contract, the incident may have been prevented. Prior to the implementation of every high-risk project, a SWMS Safe Job Method Statement must be planned and applied. This declaration should explicitly define the nature of work as well as any possible risks and how to prevent or handle them. No building work should be started before all the Safe Job Method Statement requirements have been completed. So that's all the lesson learned from the tragedy at SUKE Highway. Thank you.
Conclusion. The best way to avoid workplace accident is through a strategic safety plan. With proactive measures, you and your employee can create a culture of safety and a target accident prevention program. First, install proper lighting to form a well-lit and visual job site that furthers it easier for your staff to work out potential risks and avoid them. Install proper ventilation to stop toxic chemical or other foreign particles from being inhaled by your employee. Enforce proper attire that is necessary for accident prevention like hard hat or slip resistant shoes. Thank you.